Well, ladies and gentlemen, Target has decided to completely upstage Bud Light. I didn't have that on my bingo card. So I know Target has embraced a lot of this woke, far left stuff in the past, but they have completely gone off the rails to the point where if I were to even say some of the things that Target is actively doing and putting at the front of their stores, most of you people wouldn't believe me. You'd be like, oh, okay, that's a little far. But no, no. This is about as evil as you can possibly get. You have Target that is selling Pride merch at the front of their store for kids, and some of that merch is being manufactured and produced, I kid you not, by a company that is Satanist. I'm not Alex Jones. I'm not here to tell you about the turning the frogs, whatever. I'm serious about this, and we have a video we're going to go over. There's a company that has a shirt, and it's a Satan shirt. It says Satan respects your pronouns. This is a company that Target is doing business with, putting at the front of their store. I mean, it's the perfect combination because pride is a deadly sin. The devil does use pride to make people fall. And I can think of no better connection than just outright connecting this pride movement, which is pure evil. If you read the Bible, for those of you who are religious, if you read the Bible, it says that Satan uses God's own creations against them. So basically, like the rainbow, he wants to distort that because he wants to corrupt and ruin all of God's institutions, all of his building blocks, which is why this pride movement, pride is one of the seven deadly sins. This pride movement, what does it seek to do? It seeks to erase man and woman, which is in the image of God, the creation of God. That man is actually the determiner of what you are. So God doesn't create you. You're not made in God's image. You get to choose what you are. So you can change back and forth. You can determine it, which is just it's an abomination. Now, me personally, I'm not going to grab the pitchforks and go after you or whatever. I don't care what you choose to do. But I'm telling you, this whole thing with this, hey, pride is great. No, everything about that movement is evil. Everything about it. If you really think about it, what is pride? Well, it's a representation of the LGBT community. What is the LGBT community? It's not even about being gay. It's not even about being a lesbian, which most people don't have a problem with. It's all about sexuality and lust and depravity. It's all about the aspects of sin. That's what it is. That is what pride is. And so you look at these people and they all want their fetishes out there. They want to be able to go after your kids. They want to indoctrinate them to their fetishes. They want to kind of encourage them to try new things. Hey, try these things that I like. It is grooming. It is disgusting. It is sin. It is depravity. And I think that conservatives are finally waking up to this and doing something about it. And I think that that's great. I think that that's absolutely fabulous. Now, what can you do? Am I saying that you should act like the left? No, no. The left is violent and vicious, and they destroy buildings and hurt people and commit crimes to get their way because they're all about sin. You don't want to emulate somebody about sin to beat sin. No, the correct answer is to do what you've been doing. You know what? I don't really want a Bud Light. Yeah, you're gonna drink a Bud Light? God, man. So yeah, that's tranny fluid. You know, joking around, making fun of people, saying I'm gonna grab a Coors. You know, hey, what you go to Target? I mean, What? You know, are you one of them? Are you a dandy boy? Yeah, but it's like you take a look at some of the content, and you've got Alex Stein going to Target and trying this on, which is one of the most hilarious videos I've ever seen. But what I will say is, I miss the olden days. I miss the olden days where CEOs would commit after losing billions and billions of dollars and alienating their brand and destroying everything, would commit ritual suicide to spare their family and their company the humiliation of their failure. Uh, I'm just kidding. No. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna watch this, and we're gonna go through a video from Tim Pool, and I've got some tweets from Ian Miles Chong and stuff like that, and we're gonna look at some of this stuff because, man, oh man, is it bad? It's bad out there, and I don't understand how a company like Target could do this. I don't get it. I would think that they would be smarter than this, but this is really funny. Let's check this out.
Yay! Checking out their Tuck Friendly Pride collection. That's right, guys. Extra crotch coverage, Tuck Friendly construction. Thank you, Target.
No, it
I don't
is.
think this is a tucky one.
Yeah, it is. Look.
Tuck Friendly construction. Okay, well, let's see how tuck friendly it is.
Hey, well, you can.
Wow, it's so tuck friendly. It's nice.
Oh my god.
Let's come in.
Oh my god.
I love the tuck friendly bathing suit. It hides all of it. Look, this is nice. You guys see this? It's tuck friendly. You see? Extra. It's awesome. Yeah, I saw it on TikTok. So this extra strap right here. It just looks so good. Look, you can't even see it, guys. It's like, this is the best tuck friendly construction I've ever seen. You see this?
Oh my god.
Target is so progressive. I love it. Thank you, Target. I just
God, this guy
feel like I
is
can
trash.
run. Yeah, I can exercise in this. This is what I'm talking about. You can train in this thing.
Yeah.
I'm all tucked in. We're getting it. Can't wait to wear this around the pool.
All right, that's seriously funny. I absolutely love Alex Stein. He's hysterical. It's just really... But yeah, no, they're going full in, and these companies. It's clear that they don't care about their customers anymore. They don't care about Americans. They're looking at a global market. They're beholden to other people that think this is very, very important to push. They want this agenda out there, but people aren't buying it. People don't want it. Target has lost a fortune over the past couple days, and this is, I think, the most revealing thing I've seen so far. This is really, really quite sad.
I am here at Target in Tampa, Florida. Just walked in the door. You've heard that there's a backlash and that Target's made some real changes to their very aggressive Pride display this year. And you have been lied to, actually. Because right here at the very front of the building, there you go. There's your little toddler mannequin. And it gets better. Check this out. So, they've also have plenty of toddler gear, plenty of onesies for literally 12 months. That's what that is. And then they have this designer.
Yeah, this is
See
it.
that? This is designed by the now infamous Satanic Company. The guy that says, we're hanging with Satan because Satan respects pronouns. This is his brand. Look it up. Right here at the front of the store, along with the child mannequin. Now I've been asking, how close is this giant display, which is at the front of the store, how close is this to the Joanna Gaines section? which I find particularly interesting because, Joanna Gaines has a very lucrative, presumably multi-billion-dollar deal with Target, and she's a Christian who has Christian moral values that she wishes to uphold, and built her entire brand on family values. You see, I've just taken like probably 10 steps from the display, and here we are. This is the Joanna Gaines fiefdom inside of Target. So here you go. There they are. There they are.
Ridiculous.
The paragons of Christian entrepreneurs and family values, right next to the satanic designs inside of the
so
Pride
sad.
display in Target that they've been lying to you about. So there you go, Joanna. She's literally, look at that. She's looking across, literally looking across from it. So again, Target is lying to you. What does Joanna Gaines think about this? Do they support this? Do they support satanic grooming of children? Sure would be nice to know. But that's confirmed now. Don't believe the lies. Target has gotten rid of nothing. And if anything, it's worse than I could have possibly imagined. I mean, listen, guys. You have a right to run a business. You have a right to make your own choices as a store. And we, the consumers, also have our own rights. And so if you support this, the literal using of child mannequins in your displays, that's on you. This brand, this Target brand, needs to be toxic. It needs to be toxic among people that believe in common sense, and that people that are just basic anti-grooming, anti-sex cult, and anti-Satanism.
Well, he's right. I know that a lot of people will look at that and they'll say that that's bombastic and that's over the top, but actually it's not. If you really think about what Pride is, what it seeks to do, what it seeks to normalize, it's all about degeneracy. It's all about lust and perversion and all of that. It's not about, well, we just want a nuclear family but with 2 trans people. No, it's not about love is love. It's all about indulging whims. It's all about the most craven, terrible parts of humanity, which is pride, envy, lust, greed, wrath if you don't agree with them. There is so much about this movement that you can see in real time. They have companies that have clearly stated that, Satan respects your pronouns. Being a Satanist, you are free to be a Satanist in America. You are. You can be a Satanist if you want. I'm not about banning that. If you want to embrace that sort of evil, that's on you, and you're going to have to make an accounting for why you would do that when you meet the Almighty. But honestly, that's your choice. You can choose to do that. But here's where the line gets drawn, is when you start making content and you start making merchandise for kids, or to appeal to, or attempt to appeal to, people that they can indoctrinate their kids into the shit. So, the fact that that's happening in Florida is disappointing. It really is quite disgusting. But I know that a lot of people on the left are trying to obfuscate because they have the memory of a dementia-riddled patient. They try to constantly ignore their own evil, the left does. So, this is not Republicans destroying the Target. This is Black Lives Matter looting and burning down a building. The reason I'm showing this is because the left is like, oh, some guy came and demolished a Pride display, which basically means he took the cardboard paper, put it on the ground, and stepped on it. But this is what the Democrats are. This is what the left is. And you may think that I'm being hyperbolic or bombastic, but I'm not. This is the reality of their policies and what they believe in. They try to ignore this because they know how bad this looks. They try to blame it on Republicans. You know, a Republican takes a pride sign and puts it on the ground, and that's the same as this. No, it's not. And I realize that not everyone is religious. I totally get that. But here's the thing. This is a religious fight. You have the left that as a cult of evil people. Whether they are outright evil or it's the banality of evil where they sit by and watch as decay and rot happens. Whatever the case may be, these are not good people. And this whole pride thing, this whole conformity thing, or you're a bigot, it is madness. I don't have hate in my heart for people that are confused about their gender and are looking for help. I think that they should get help. I think that help should come in the form of meeting with reasonable people that will help them get the medication they need to accept the body that they're in, because God doesn't make mistakes. I don't know his plan. You know, could be you're like, oh, I was born with one arm, I was born with one leg. I don't know why. But there's a plan. There's a plan. And the fact that you have people that are acting this way, they're trying to be God. They're abandoning all the core principles of religion in favor of this sort of hedonistic, degenerate, let me play God, let me make my own reality lifestyle, and it doesn't end well. So my advice to Target would be, you have two choices. You can either continue down this path and people will stop buying from you and you're going to have to face the backlash, or you can stop. You can say, you know what? We're going to get rid of all of this. Nationwide. We're not going to have this in our stores anymore. If I were Target, I would get the CEO to step down, personally, after his comments about doubling down in the internal memo from Target. Absolutely, I'd get him to step down and get out of the way, because these CEOs need to be fired. Whoever is doing this or pressuring them, they need to go, because this is absolutely ridiculous.
A video is going viral showing a man tearing down the LGBT pride display, but it's not as crazy as you think. When I see this story, I'm like, wow, things are getting spicy out there. And then I watch the video and it's like a guy takes a small piece of cardboard, puts it on the ground and steps on it. And that's really it. But I do think it's interesting that people are seeking to get viral fame by being anti-woke. This is a component of the Bud Light effect. When people realize they can get millions of views, and they can, from calling out woke corporations, they will start doing it. Target shopper tears down pride sign as fury over LGBTQ merch spills into the aisles. Let me tell you a story, my friends. When Kid Rock fired upon Bud Light the first time, I knew about the story. I didn't care all that much. I was like, yeah, it's interesting. These boycotts, they pop up from time to time. So I did a smaller short segment explaining what was going on. And I got like 500,000 views in a couple hours. And I went, wow, people really do care about this. Well, let me look into it more and see what's going on. So I made more videos. It is a natural component of I follow the news. Clearly, this was the big story for people. And it did really well. Now, I don't do videos just for views, but it plays a role. Of course it does. If I made a video and like nobody watched it at all, I'd be like, people probably don't care about that issue all that much. So, we'll find a time and a place for it if it matters to us. There are a lot of videos I put out that I know people probably aren't going to want to watch, but I think it matters. So I make the videos anyway. A video I did yesterday and the day before, they got less than 100K views, which is atypical. Typically the videos I make get, 100 and some odd thousand, maybe 200,000. But I thought they were important. In the case of Anheuser-Busch, I knew that not only was this a big story, but people really cared. And I said, this is a perfect storm. Not only do I agree that they shouldn't be sponsoring this stuff, people really like these videos. This should be a story we follow, something that people actually care about. Well, what you can see here with this video is probably somebody who just thinks, I'm going to go viral if I do something. Death cult.
3 deodorant myths ruining your game. Myth number 1, deodorant needs strong chemicals.
There's a couple of little made in China to be a veteran. No, we Target shopper from it. The algorithms can only do so much.
That's funny.
You know, YouTube, if they had their way, they would block my show, Timcast's, with video from Target and the retailer where the paint and it were brought confirm as well. There you go. I don't know what happened to this guy, but, you know, when you look up the story, this is what you find. Then there's this. Michigan man gets community service for shooting anti-abortion campaigner. Yeah, I think it was an 84-year-old woman was going door to door advocating against abortion. So a man shot her. He got charged with, what did he get? He pleaded no contest to felonious assault, careless discharge of a firearm causing injury, and reckless discharge of a firearm.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, but good old Michigan. God damn. That's embarrassing. Anyway, my point in making this video is to highlight my view on this issue and to talk about it in a general term. No, I don't think that Pride, as it's presented as this corporate movement, is okay. I know that some people will balk at that because they're afraid of saying that, but no, I don't. And by the way, this doesn't have anything to do with any of the individual letters. I've gone through this before. It's like you look at the LGBTQ, all the different letters. The L's, no one has a problem with the L's. Men like the L's, women like the L's. The only one who doesn't like the L's are the G's. The G's don't like the L's and the L's don't like the G's. So, fine. They're not interested in that, and that's perfectly fine. The B's. No one really cares about the B's. Like, you're a B, you like both. Hey, no one's like, oh yeah, these terrible B's. It's like, no one really cares. The G's, some people have an issue with. I mean, I look at, my general philosophy is I'm grossed out by it, but I don't really, I would never go up to somebody and try to shame them in public for doing what they do. They're like, oh, we're two guys kissing. I'd be like, Mazel tov, I'm leaving. Just because I don't want to see it. It's a personal thing I find to be gross. But I'm not here to stop it. I'm not here to morally grandstand on it. I'm not here to say, oh, they can't do that. No, if you want to do that in public, fine. I just don't have to look at it. And that's the way that I view a lot of the content that I'm recommended on YouTube. Oh, there's a lot of shit there. It's like, I don't want to watch most of this stuff. I don't know where it comes from. It's like, I just choose not to watch it. It's as simple as that. I don't make it an issue out of it. But so, the G's, no one really has a problem with them. It's, maybe the George Takeis that talk about kids a little too much. Like, oh, I was 13 and he was a much older man and is like, whatever. I'm like, that's gross and wrong and disgusting and all of that. But, it's, that's not cool. We're against that. We're against things having to do with kids, pretty much. But the gays, for the most part, are perfectly fine. So the L's, the G's, and the B's are all fine. For the most part, even the T's are okay. And I say even in that way because individual T's are fine. I constantly see people online in the gaming community like, oh, I'm a T, but I don't support all this madness. It's like, well, then Mazel tov. Blair White is a T. Blair White is a T, one of the most popular YouTubers in the commentary space. That she's a T. And I say she because Blair White has actually gone through all of the effort required. Here's what it breaks down to. people will not have an issue with you so much. Like, they'll disagree with your lifestyle. Like, me personally, it's like I find the G's to be kind of gross. Sometimes I don't want to watch them kissing. It just, personally, I find that to be kind of revolting. But if you're a patriotic G, and you're like, I love this country, I love, I love my freedom, I love the Second Amendment, I'll be like, right on, brother. Right on. We're on the same side then. If you're like, you know what, I'm a G, but if you come to me and you're like, I'm a G, but I fucking hate these P's. I hate these groomers and these God, you know what? God damn it, I hate these goddamn, if you're like that, you know what? I'm like, God, you're with me, brother. I'm not into dudes, but you're amazing. It's all about your beliefs. I think more than what you choose to do in the bedroom. It's about how you behave, how you interact. I think that's the most important thing. It's the content of your character, not what you choose to do. Now, if you have to rely on your sexuality, your skin color, or your gender to be the most interesting thing about you, you're not somebody I would want to know anyway, because you're boring. That is boring. Imagine that. You're like, oh, yeah, I identify as, it's like, who the fuck cares? What do you do? What's your job? What's your hobby? What are you interested in? Like what makes you an interesting, unique person rather than a pre-programmed assembly line NPC? Because I've heard the pronouns thing before. Pronouns don't make you unique. I've heard it all before. But anyway, Target, I'll just shop somewhere else. I don't need to shop at Target. Before this, I bought I bought two Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom OLEDs from Target. I bought a couple amiibos from Target. I've spent a couple $100 at Target over the last, maybe, I don't know, couple months, like in the last couple weeks. But I'm not buying from Target anymore. Me personally, I'm not buying from Target. If that's the attitude the CEO wants to take, if this is the company, if this is their position, fine. But I'm not having any part of it. And if anyone takes an issue with anything that I've said, you let me know in the comment section below where you have an issue. And by the way, I just want to say this for the end of the video. I've seen the brain-rotted, imbecilic, just grunting of people like Hassan Piker when they listen to people who are not, like, to the left of him. When they talk about this, he says, yeah, just come out and say you hate this particular group. No, because it's not true. I realize that you're a bombastic clown. You're an imbecile putting on a show for other imbeciles. But no, it's not about hatred. It's not about loathing or disgust. It's about right and wrong. It's about who a person is, judging them on their character, and somebody like Hassan, who is a vain, duck-facing Instagrammer, that the only reason he is in the position that he's in is because he is super attractive, and his family's super wealthy, and his uncle was Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. Without all that, there's not really much else there. There's nothing of substance, really. The whole being vain thing. I don't know why I'm going off on Hassan, but I saw him try to do a reaction. In fact, I think I'm going to upload it before too long. His reaction to the Ron DeSantis launch, which I actually think that Hassan did a decent job. It was actually really kind of entertaining, considering the fact that Ron DeSantis' launch was the most boring thing I've ever seen. But that sort of attitude that Hassan has, that's sort of like, you're all, what do you just be honest about the fact that you hate? It's like, no, it's not about obfuscating. I think that I've been pretty clear about my position. That's not hatred. I don't hate the trans community. I'm not transphobic by any stretch of the imagination. But I disagree with it. I don't think that anything that they say or believe in or advocate for is right. But I'm not looking to lock people up. I'm not on the left. I'm not an authoritarian by nature looking to round people up and punish them for wrong thing. That's what Democrats do. That's what the left does. That's what the commies fucking do. That's what the Stalin types do. The Mao types do. I'm not about that. Anyway, let's see what Pride Month is around the corner. Let's see if we can cost them a couple more billion. I mean, God, yeah, these companies are awful. They deserve to be punished. In terms of financials, boycott them and make their brand toxic. And the way that you do that is just by pointing out the stuff that they've done wrong. It's like you don't have to take one step. You don't have to really take one foot into a target. You don't have to do anything malicious or wrong. You just call them out on all of the evil shit that they're doing, all of their lies, all of the deceit. Like, hey, we're getting rid of this. No, you're not. No, you're lying. So, anyway, on that note, I will bid you guys a good day, and I'll see you next time.